I know many of you have been supporting us and following us for many years, and I want to say thank you before we get started. But for you and for the ones that are just getting started to support us, I want to fill you in on everything up to date. We're working in Ethiopia, South Sudan, and also inside of Uganda. Over the past few years, we've built 6 orphanages. We have one that we're still working on, so 5 of them are up and working. We've built 5 schools from the footer up, and I'm talking schools in Uganda and schools in South Sudan and also in Ethiopia. We're starting a number 6 school right now that is under construction inside of South Sudan. You know, the education has really went downhill in many areas of South Sudan, so we knew it was time to build our own school on the orphanage in South Sudan. We're also planning a number 7 school that's being built in northern Uganda in the area of our farm. The reason why is you got hundreds of children that are not going to school in northern Uganda because there is no school available for them. Over the past few years, we have drilled more than 24 wells, and we hope this year, 2016 into 2017, our goal is to drill at least 8 to 10 more wells. You know, if you want to save hundreds and thousands of lives, drill a well in a most needed area. Many children in East Africa are still drinking from the river, they're drinking from lakes, they're drinking water that's contaminated, they're drinking water that has parasites. So if you want to save children and save adults, drill a well. Right now we are feeding more than 6,000 meals a day. We believe over the next few months we're going to be able to look at you and say we're feeding over 7,000 meals. I want to talk to you about 2 of our big projects that we have going on. One of them is in northern Uganda. This farm that we have in northern Uganda is nearly 1,000 acres. That's 2 square miles if you're going to walk around it. This project is helping to rehabilitate ex-child soldiers and victims of war from Uganda and South Sudan. This project right now is working many young men. We're teaching farming, ranching, and irrigation, some of the top technology ways. You can see by the photos that this project is doing very well. Just the past 6 months, we haven't bought any rice, we haven't bought any maize on 2 of our big projects, mainly the big orphanage in South Sudan. This project is being fed from this farm in northern Uganda. One of our big needs for this farm is more farming equipment. So as you're looking into what we're doing, you might see this farm is doing very well, but we need your help drastically. We only have 2 tractors, we only have 1 plow, 1 harrow, a few other pieces of farm equipment. Our goal over the next year is to have 2 more tractors. 2 more tractors, we believe by 2017, we won't only be supplying all of our own food, we believe that we'll be able to sell the food and vegetables that we're growing off this farm and start to make a profit from this farm. One of the big things that we have done at the farm in northern Uganda is we have built a 2-story home. A lot of people say when they see this home, why did you build such a big home like this? This home was built 6-bedroom, 4-bathroom to train young ladies that are victims of war how to clean, how to take care of a home this size, to take care of a home this quality, so we can get them a job in nearby cities, working in hotels, taking care of other people's homes. We're also teaching them how to make Spanish omelets, how to make eggs Benedict, how to make pancakes, how to make waffles, how to make French toast. We're teaching them these rare things that not too many people knows in northern Uganda how to make, but we can take them into Kampala and nearby other cities, get them a really good job in 3-star, 4-star hotels and restaurants. If we can give these ladies a skill, if we can give them a trade, we will give them a future. Women in northern Uganda, but not just northern Uganda, in East Africa alone, women are second class. Women are treated very bad, especially if you were a victim of war, if you were a wife of a rebel, maybe you were used as a sex slave. When you go back to your village, a lot of people don't even want you there. So our goal is to take these young ladies of northern Uganda and teach them a trade and give them a skill. Keep in mind that all the projects that we have in Uganda and all the projects that we have in South Sudan, there's monthly maintenance that goes on all these projects. The orphanage in South Sudan, every time we bring a team in, we're working, painting, replacing doors, replacing windows. There's always repairs. So the donations that you give, some people might say, well, they're small. Every small donation is needed for the upkeep of everything. We have generators, we have fuel. One of the big things is we have all of our own automobiles, all of our own trucks that we got to put tires on, we got to do repairs. So there's always a cost and an overhead that a lot of people don't look at. We're also working right now between all the projects with the contractors that are working constantly, building new dormitories and everything we got going on at the farm and everything in all the projects, Ethiopia and South Sudan and inside of Uganda. All these projects, we work over 120 people. Our second big project is in Ethiopia. This Ethiopian project was the biggest project that God has ever put on me. Many of you heard me say this. 3 years ago, God put a 6-story building to teach a skill and trade to young people. We had no money, we had no land. It was only a vision from God, but what started out as a vision is now reality. Many of you know that in 2016, January, we shut this project down for a couple months because of lack of funds, but there's exciting news. It's up and it's running once again. This project not only has the doors and windows in it now, we're starting on all the plumbing and all the plumbing fixtures throughout the building. In the nearby few weeks, we'll be working on the plaster outside and also inside and the painting of this building. So with your help, we'll be able to complete this building. This building is being used on the first floor as a commercial bakery. On the second floor, a restaurant, a hair salon, a few other businesses. The third floor and the fourth floor is a hotel. Half of the fourth floor will be used to bring in children from 16 years old to 26 years old. This will be their home. So they're not only learning a trade, they have a beautiful home also to live in. On the fifth floor is sectioned off into business rentals, where we will put qualified children into business. We will use our money from $5,000 to $10,000 to start them out. Interest-free money, but they have to pay the money back. One of our big exciting things is the sixth floor. The sixth floor of this building has a small kitchen and bathrooms in the center of the roof, but the building is used for rooftop dining. There'll be parties, there'll be graduations, there'll be weddings. All of this will be done on the rooftop dining of this building. This building sits across the street from one of the largest universities in Ethiopia. It's an awesome place not just to teach young people a trade and give them a skill, but it's also a place that we can generate money to send other students into universities inside of Ethiopia. This building is not only built in one of the fastest growing cities in Ethiopia, it's built in one of the fastest growing cities for street children. Keep in mind that street children in this area are hundreds of children, even thousands of children as young as 3 years old on up into the early teens sleeping in the streets. These children don't have no safe area to live. These children don't have a blanket. These children don't have food. The only hope they have is us. So as soon as this big building's done, we move our other children into it. Then we're going into the streets in 1 or 2 days to pull at least 50 young children off the streets and place in our other orphanage we have. We need your help. Many of these children are being molested. Many of them are being raped in the evenings. But with your help, with your support, we can finish this project.